Howdy, welcome to TBKHomeworld, or as I like to call it, the mini toolbox channel as of lately. And in this video, we're gonna be looking at the HyperTough and see what features it has, especially whenever we compare it to the competitors of the Kobalt and the US General. So I picked up this mini toolbox at my local Walmart for $20. This mini toolbox has steel construction, just like the other ones, with a nice powder coat finish on it. It has metal drawers with ball bearing slides on it, just as the competitors do. It does include pre-cut non-slip drawer liners, and per the usual, each drawer can hold up to 5 pounds. Now, the other really nice thing about this particular brand of mini toolbox is it comes in a lot of different colors, if you can get them. Unfortunately, that is a problem for me in my location. I had the choice between 2 red that were on the shelf and a couple of black, and that was it. These things are really scarce and very hard to come by. And if you've been able to land one of the fancy colors like the purple or the orange crush, congratulations, those are extremely hard to come by. One of the things that makes this HyperTough brand a little bit different than the other ones is this one does have a bottom cabinet that you can purchase. It is kind of similar to the Kobalt in that fashion. However, it has doors on it instead of drawers. So let's go ahead and open this up and let's see what this one is about. Now, one of the things I noticed very quickly on this is the style of the top is very different. Let me bring over the Kobalt and the US General. Now you'll notice that our lid on this has a rounded over front. It does stop on the back, very similar to the US General, and unlike the Kobalt, it does not flop all the way back. Preference, this is what I prefer, and I know I've actually had a couple of people comment that they prefer it to come all the way open. But for me, I like this. All 3 of them use a nice full-length piano hinge for the back of it, so they should all be extremely sturdy and they shouldn't have issues over time. I do notice that the top of this, like the US General, it has little rubber feet on it, so whenever you close it, your rubber feet are going to be hitting and making contact on your metal. Interestingly enough, the Kobalt does not have any sort of rubber feet on it whatsoever. So whenever you close it, it is metal on metal, so keep that in mind. We can pull open the drawers and we see that we do indeed have the drawer liners. If you watch my review on the Kobalt, you know that on the drawers that come with it, they have detents in them. So for you to actually get the drawer to seat, you have to physically push it. The US General has magnets on it. As long as you get them close, the magnet will draw the drawer in and it seals it automatically. The HyperTough is going to be like the Kobalt. This has detents in it. You have to physically push it until it locks into those detents in order to get those drawers closed. Now you will notice that the front of these drawers do not have any of the fancy drawer pulls like our Kobalt has. They look very similar to the US General as far as the design itself. They do have some stripes that go across the entire thing. That's gonna give you a nice little push section where your fingers aren't going to slip across it. So of those 3 designs, I like this one best overall, but this feels really nice in the hand. I do definitely like that. If you also watch the Kobalt video, one of the things that I noted about the Kobalt is the drawers do come out a lot further than they do on the US General. So let's see how the drawers do on this HyperTough. So on the HyperTough fully extended, our drawers are 3 3/8 of an inch, or about 87 millimeters. If we compare that to the US General, we're about 3 3/8, and we're around 87 millimeters. On our Kobalt, we have a significantly wider opening. We are right at 4 inches, or about 10.3 centimeters. So as far as the drawer openings, you're definitely gonna get a wider drawer opening with the Kobalt. The US General and the HyperTough are extremely similar as far as the drawer opening. Now let's look at the drawer depth. So total drawer depth of the HyperTough is going to be right at 5 inches, or 12.7 centimeters. The US General drawer depth is identical to the HyperTough. We have 5 inches, or again about 12.7 centimeters. On the Kobalt, our drawer depth is 5 1/16, or about 12.9 centimeters. Our drawer height on the HyperTough is 1 1/8 of an inch, or 2.9 centimeters. Our top drawer height on the US General is 1 1/8 inch, or 2.9 centimeters. Our top drawer height on our Kobalt is 1 1/4 inches, or 3.2 centimeters. Now, one of the things you will definitely notice that is different with this HyperTough compared to the US General or the Kobalt is going to be the height of the second drawer. We have a significantly taller drawer on the US General and on the Kobalt. It looks like this is going to be the same height as the first drawer. Let's go ahead and measure so we know just exactly how deep these drawers are. For the HyperTough, we are 1 1/4 inch, or about 2.9 centimeters. For the US General, second drawer down, we are right at 2 inches, or right at 5.1 centimeters. For our Kobalt second drawer depth, we are 2 3/16 inches deep, or about 5.6 centimeters. So that goes over our drawer dimensions and how easy it'll be to stick stuff in and out of them. You might be asking yourself, why are the drawers on the HyperTough shorter than they are on the competitors? That is because of how this top is designed. As you can see, we have a very thin upper lid for the competitors. However, with the HyperTough, we have the rounded front that comes down. This type of cover allows you to have more access to the items that are inside your upper part. It also allows for more storage in the top of your unit. Now you might be asking yourself, why does that kind of stuff matter? Well, let me show you a little something with one of my favorite tools. It's this little Ryobi high-speed rotary cutter. I really like this thing. If we try to put it in the top of the US General, it won't close. If we take the same tool and we put it in the top of the Kobalt, it won't close there either. However, if we put it in the top of the HyperTough, we can very easily close it. There is no clearance issues with it whatsoever. Now, on the other side of that, on the US General and the Kobalt, we can easily sink this rotary cutter into the bottom of those drawers, and it has no issue. Unfortunately, that means we can't do it on the HyperTough. So you still have the same storage capacity amongst these. They're right at the same amount. It's just put in a slightly different area. And it's your choice as to which one you prefer. I do like this style of top cabinet. I really appreciate that it stops here. I love that it has the bump stops on it like the US General. And I'm actually really torn. I like both of these for different reasons, but I do really appreciate having the larger storage up at the top. Now, one of the things I'm very disappointed with the HyperTough, there is no printing anywhere on this box showing that it's made from HyperTough on the front. Now, there is something really cool. On the back, we have an embossed HyperTough logo. I like that it is embossed. It's not a sticker. This isn't going to be going anywhere. It is stamped into the steel. That's great, but put it on the front. Put it where people can see it. That's what I personally prefer. Now, one last major thing that I really, really like about my US General is right here on the bottom. We have these snazzy little rubber feet. All four corners have these little rubber feet. As I showed in the Kobalt video, it has no rubber feet. This is going to be an issue if you put it on a wood surface and it gets moved. As this gets drug around, it is going to scratch that surface. The US General is not going to. Now, let's look at the HyperTough. What did they do? Unfortunately, they kind of got the idea, but they missed it. They have the holes for the little rubber feet to go into, but they don't include the rubber feet. I am very confused because they have the rubber on the lid. Why didn't they put the rubber feet here on the bottom? Now, if you get the lower cabinet, maybe it has the little rubber feet on it. I don't know. I'm unsure because I can't get one. If you have one of the lower cabinets and they do have those little rubber feet on it, please put it in the comments below. Let everybody know if they are included. However, HyperTough, you cannot guarantee, like me, I can't get one of those lower cabinets. So that's why I would like for all of the cabinets to include those small little rubber feet. Now, what if you've already picked up one of these and you can't get the base? However, you go to Lowe's and you pick up one of the lower cabinets. The question then becomes, will this HyperTough fit on top of the Kobalt? Yes, it will. And I really like the way this one looks. Whenever you flip this up and you have that larger front on here, I don't know why, I just really like the way that this toolbox looks. It's very well designed with this particular front, and I like having the larger storage capacity at the top. Now, there is one other little thing about this HyperTough that is different to the others. And this is 100% a preference as to which way you want to go. If we flip over the US General and we open the base, you will see that the bottom of this has a solid bottom. The same thing with our Kobalt. If we flip it up and we open that drawer, we see that we have a solid base. However, interestingly enough, HyperTough has decided to have no base to it whatsoever. So whenever you open that drawer, you can see to the next drawer up. If you're going to be giving these to your children, I could actually see this one being a huge benefit, and here is why. Children don't understand that drawers can only have certain level of items put within them. Whenever they start overstuffing things in here, it usually gets shoved over the rear and you get stuff stuck in the back. Well, if you have something stuck in the US General or the Kobalt, you have to pull these drawers out in order to get the items in the back out. It's not that difficult. You flip the little switches on the side and you can pull the drawer out. However, if your child does that with the HyperTough, you can just tell them to pick it up and they have right there on the table whatever fell out through the back. So the next question really is, what are these toolboxes intended for? Well, I see them as a great gateway for children to get into tools. I preach about that a lot because I definitely want to see the younger generation learn how to turn a wrench. I think it's important that we learn how to be able to do those things. However, I found it amazing how many people I've talked to, both men and women, who use these for very specific things. A lot of my female viewers use these within their sewing room. I think that's absolutely amazing. And some of the guys out there, some of you use them for your pew-pew things, and you can put different tools within it. So what do you put in here? I love hearing all of the creative ideas that everybody has out there and how everybody is consuming these products. Let me know below, because it definitely helps me understand how to do a better job of letting everybody know what these are actually good for, because while they are cute, while they are cheap, they're very useful. And so letting everybody know those things is a really cool thing I get to do. So now, which one of these three should you purchase? Well, I love the idea of the Kobalt, and I really love the idea that the Kobalt has this bottom drawer system, and I think that is very slick. Unfortunately, the drawer liners and the lack of feet is a major turnoff for me on this system. Now, I do want to cover something very specific with the Kobalt. We didn't notice this whenever we did the initial video. However, if you look right here on top, you will see that there was a repair done here. This was a powder coated unit, but it looks like they just took some enamel paint on a rag and rubbed it across the spot and called it good. Unfortunately, as time has gone on, it's starting to look worse and worse. This sits in my garage where we have moisture in here, and I am concerned that this might turn into a rust spot. So that leaves us with these two. Which one would I recommend to purchase? I really like the US General. However, and I'm surprised to hear myself say this, I think my new favorite is actually the HyperTough. I like the drawer inserts better. It opens up just as much as the US General does, but what I really like, I prefer the larger top. I didn't think I would whenever I first picked it up, but having used it, I much prefer having those kinds of tools, my rotary tools, sitting up here up top instead of stuck in a drawer. And here is why I say that. That rotary tool is grabbed so much here at our little homestead. If we have it up here on the top, in this one, it's easy to grab to. Over here, we're not gonna do that. It's always gonna be in a drawer. So that means we have to open the drawer every single time. You'll always see it in my video, so the lid is always open for me, so that's why I prefer this one. However, there is one thing that the US General absolutely nails perfect, whereas it is lacking on the HyperTough, and that is these drawers. These magnet closes are amazing. I much prefer those over the detent style. I know that's a preference thing, but it is absolutely my preference for the magnets as opposed to the detents. So there you go, folks. There is the new HyperTough mini toolbox. If you have any questions about this toolbox or any of the other ones, please leave it in the comments below. I love hearing from you all and the amazing positive comments and ideas that you all put down there. It absolutely lightens my day and brings a huge smile to my face with those positive comments, especially great comments like this one. Thank you very much for leaving that comment. And remember, keep your tools sharp and your batteries charged, and we will catch you on the next one.